Hi, thank you so much for joining me today. In this quick video, I want to show you the 5-step marketing engine that has been proven to work for financial advisors to build long-term success. So what do all advisors want? They want more qualified leads, more AUM, and a clear path to do this. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to go over the proven marketing plan to get the business you need, regardless of platforms, changes, or trends. We're going to talk about how to align all of your marketing efforts with a complete strategy, not just tactics, that scale with your business long term. And we want to help you simplify your marketing execution while still increasing your performance, that ROI, and peace of mind that you know you're on track. Hi, I'm Elizabeth Ryder, Director of Marketing here at Indigo, and I've been in the industry a little over 13 years, working with advisors. So with consulting, I worked in an advisory office, trading, para planning, RMD, so much more. And so I feel like I really do get you and your struggles. And I also really appreciate that the work advisors do is important. And so I want to help you grow your business, and I've been trusted by hundreds of other advisors to do that. And I'm hoping today you walk away with some valuable information. So about Indigo a little bit, we're 100% focused on working with financial advisors. We have served over 300 advisors nationwide with custom websites, SEO, ads, content, strategy, execution, and so much more. We love seeing you succeed in your business. We're constantly cheering you on, and we hope that today's presentation helps you whether you choose to work with us or not. So if this is for you, if your firm's doing okay, but you know you could be doing better, we do ideally work with firms that have 100 million in AUM and 1 million in revenue. But if you are not quite there yet, you're still going to get some real nuggets of wisdom out of today's presentation that you can apply to your business. If you want a marketing system that works together, not in pieces, this video is going to help you tremendously. So why is your marketing not working as well as it could be? Well, there's several different things. First, most marketing is tactical, not strategic. Tactics are scattered with no alignment. There's not enough resources. It's inconsistent, so it's working in bursts, not systems. You want these big wins, but neglect the foundational work that it takes to get you there. And growth really becomes guesswork. So if this at all sounds interesting to you, book a free marketing strategy session with our team. We would love to discuss your overall strategy, really specialized to your firm and your niche. It's not cookie cutter, and it is a free, no obligation conversation. So click the link below or use the QR code on the slide. So we're going to be going through some really basic principles, but are many things that advisors just forget about when thinking of their marketing. And so we want to talk about some mindset shifts that work for long-term success for advisors. They are common sense, they are foundational, and they're going to help you realign your thinking. So mindset shift number 1 is have a clear strategy. So the elements of a clear strategy, fairly simple here. You need a clear niche of who you work with. That messaging is really important. You need an offer and solutions specifically for that group of folks. And then you need to determine the right platforms of where they're hanging out and how best to expand your reach. You need that consistent cadence to make sure that people don't just see you one time. And you need a consistent budget to really be able to scale well. Something that happens all the time is we want people to trust me with your life savings, but how do you build real trust and attract your ideal clients in one ad? It's very challenging. So you want to keep it clear and simple. Keep your marketing message simple. What do you do? Who you help, and why you're the best solution. Why should they want to work with you? You need to show up at the right times to the right people in as many places as you can and as often as you can, particularly that ties into your budget. So mindset shift number 2, real growth requires real spend. So marketing is an investment. It's not an expense. And so you do need to shift that thinking around. Marketing is an essential part of running and growing a successful business. And when done right, it does pay for itself. You want to set your goals. So what is your revenue goal for the next 12 months? What will it do? What will it take to get you there? And you need to do the real math. And now I know you guys love math, so let's do it. So you're going to set a marketing budget. 10 to 20% of your top line revenue should be set aside for marketing. I have seen advisors be successful in the 10%, but when I talk to somebody and they say, hey, I want a certain number of calls or a certain conversion each month, your budget is going to have to increase to be able to accommodate that. So if you take the 10 to 20% of the budget, 50% of that should go to paying your team, whether that's an in-house staff, an agency, software, materials, and 50% of it should be paid advertising. I know that that is a big number for some advisors to wrap their mind around, but that is where you're going to get good lead flow. So that's Google ads, Facebook ads. Mindset shift number 3, track and measure what matters. So most firms don't track it properly. They can't see the real leads, they're not collecting the data, and it feels overwhelming. It's very sporadic, you don't know where these leads came from, and you don't know what tactics are actually working. So you need simple tracking. So when you work with Indigo, all of your leads come into one place with your deals and your revenue. We track with form submissions and inbound phone calls. We track those MQLs and SQLs and track the sources where possible so that we can help you direct your focus where it matters and really alleviate that time spent scrambling trying to figure out which path is working well for you. Mindset shift number 4, fragmented efforts kill growth. So here's some signs that you might have some fragmented efforts. You are juggling freelancers or a team that don't talk to each other. Maybe you have one person who does your social, you have another team that does your emails that are going out, another team that's doing your ads, another person's doing your website. And so you don't have this internal marketing leadership or a cohesive strategy because the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing. Especially if you're working with different agencies, one might have a different strategy plan for you. And then who are you holding accountable when things don't work out? Or how are you making sure that you're actually propelling forward? You're usually not. So you need to have at least 1 to 2 channels working. And so a lot of advisors feel like these 1 to 2 channels might be working partially, but they get stuck, they plateau, and they're like, hey, I don't know if this avenue is working well for me or not, because nobody is focused, there's no real strategy. So here's the real problem with these fragmented efforts. Your marketing channels don't support each other. They aren't maximized. This leads to confusion, frustration, and everything just ultimately feels harder than it really should be. So what's the solution? You need leadership. You need someone who has to own your marketing strategy and execution. So that could be somebody, an internal person that you hire or an outside agency, but you need one person in charge of it with a written marketing plan for you, not just whatever they kind of see that's the new trend. You know, they go to a conference and they get fired up, or things that are happening on social, like, oh, let's try that out. They need a real plan, okay? And it needs to be centralized and transparent for everybody working towards that goal. Mindset shift number 5 is you need a complete and resilient plan. So diversify. Diversification is nothing new to financial advisors, but when it comes to marketing, you also need to diversify. Relying on one channel can be really risky. There's platform changes that can wipe out traffic overnight, and diversification protects your business. Then there's other things too that can happen, like changes in compliance rules and so much more. And so you need to make sure you have all your bases covered. Ads accounts get disabled, and the last thing you want to have happen is your ad shutting down. Another thing that happens, policies change, ad costs go up, and so you have to be able to be flexible within your budget. Social media can decay or profiles can suspend over time. SEO traffic plummets. Oh, this has been happening quite a bit for some advisors, particularly with AI tools now showing AI summaries, is that while they're getting a ton of impressions, their clicks are dropping because everyone's getting what they need in a little summary at the top. They're not clicking through. And so really there's a fragility with marketing. So we had once an advisor who was spending a lot of money, thousands of dollars on a mailer campaign, and the mailers failed to go out through the mailer company. And they had all of these ads running, they had all of these campaigns going, and the mailer component failed. And so you don't want to put all your eggs into one basket. So really, there's algorithms, platforms, and costs that change constantly. There's growth halts when one tactic stops working. And you can't scale just one channel. So you're left scrambling, you lose momentum, and you lose money. So things always change. You need a team and systems that can adapt and update as necessary. So you're going to want to build a resilient multi-channel marketing system. This is what's going to protect you. Winning businesses use multiple touch points within their overall marketing plan. So each channel works together harmoniously. They support the others. It builds that lasting momentum and it creates compounding returns. That's something I'm talking a lot to advisors about is, hey, the work that you do with your marketing should be compounding on each other to create that lead flow that you need in the future and to continue on. So mindset shift number 6, simplicity scales. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay, so more tools and tactics, more noise. Simplicity creates a focus and an impact. It aligns your execution to get you better results more consistently. So let's recap of these mindset shifts and how you can apply them. So winning businesses have a clear strategy. Real growth requires real spend. They track and measure what matters. Fragmented efforts kill growth. Build and complete a resilient plan, and simplicity scales. This is going to lead to better results with the same amount of effort. So I want to talk for a few minutes about the total marketing plan. It is our 5-step marketing engine that drives this long-term growth. I'm only going to spend about 3 minutes on it, but just so you understand how we can apply what we just learned for you to take it right off your plate. So we use this simple system for our clients. Leads come from all different sources, but growth becomes channel agnostic, and growth just happens. We love getting on calls where we're like, hey, I don't know where this lead came from the advisor, but I'm really happy it happened. And so we can dig down in and we can look and we can apply more focus to that area to continue that lead flow. And it adapts and it compounds over time. So here's an overview of what is essential for advisors to scale effectively. First, we talk about ads. We need to get in front of more people. This is the fastest way to get traffic. The next would be SEO. It's a long game, but it plays dividends in the end. And many of the SEO principles that we apply also work for AI tools showing up in, ChatGPT, Grok, and things like that. Social. This is where you want to have conversations. You want to build trust, be relevant, be where everybody else is, okay? Email. Email is still king. There are people that think email is dead. It is not. We personally get a lot of clients through email. Our advisors do. You can nurture your leads effectively, stay top of mind, and you really can convert more over time without having to remember to check in all the time. And then the last piece that I find a lot of advisors forget about is their website. This is the foundation of your marketing success. I go to advisors' websites and I find holes all the time. Whether that be their copy doesn't sound like their audience would relate to it. They have contact forms that they don't know what happens when people fill them out, or they fill it out and they get a notification, but then what? How are you converting them long term? It's missing so many different aspects. The mobile version doesn't work. There's so much to your website that really builds your brand, builds that trust. It's your digital handshake. You want that foundational work done. So there are different levers within your marketing, and each lever can be dialed up or down based on your priorities. And that's why we help you customize it. So while we have this structure that is working broadly over advisors, the levers are really important. Your strategy, experience, results, and market affect which levers you can pull. You can choose where you focus your time and budget and energy without ignoring the bigger picture. And so how it all works together is that it's a system. It's not silos, okay? Our whole team's working together. All 5 channels reinforce each other. They create a full funnel ecosystem, and that's where the real scale happens. So some of you might be saying, I've tried to do this before and it didn't work. Well, did you give it real effort? Did you try it long enough? Marketing requires consistency, and I'd also challenge you to say, did you work with multiple different teams or just think it didn't work because somebody wasn't taking ownership? So don't quit too soon. You don't want to be 3 feet from gold when you stop, or in this picture it shows diamonds, but too many people quit too soon. it's really important to think about how people don't buy linearly. So on the left side, this is a typical funnel that people understand that you want to ideally take a prospect through. That awareness, consideration, and conversion. I do talk about it in some of my videos because that is important and the ideal, just like your plans that you have. But if we talk about reality, reality is messy. People don't buy linearly. They don't always click on their first ad and say, hey, I'm going to immediately switch to this advisor. It takes some time. Just like you think about different like Monte Carlo simulations that can happen, the same thing happens when people have their buying and they're buying a service from you. And so it is sometimes messy. So why does it work? So different tactics work in different ways, okay? They're layered, not scattered, and each piece amplifies the others. They build off of one another as you go around. They're multi-touch, so you can reach more people more often and have that stronger, more resilient marketing plan that works. So they create this full ecosystem that we talked about earlier. So we talked about ads and SEO and social and email and website. You want them all working cohesively together. So the total marketing package is our done for you premium service. We want to make sure that we're caring about the advisors we work with. I know a lot of businesses say that, but we truly do celebrate your successes. We want to challenge one another to really be helping our advisors reach their goals. And so we take care of everything for you, your website, funnels, ads, SEO, email, social. We do the monthly strategy and execution, your tracking, optimization and reporting. And really, you have a team in your corner. So if you think any of this sounds interesting, please book a free marketing strategy session with our team. We are going to have a great conversation. It's not going to be a sales pitch. We want to truly learn about your firm, your niche, and how we can customize and pull those levers to create the 5-part growth system that's going to work best for you. So click the link below or scan the QR code. We can't wait to talk soon with you.